With the opening few weeks of the season wrapped up, our focus is now on the in-season tournament, along with getting through the month of November. Here in year number 3, the Golden State Warriors, MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K25. It hasn't been a perfect start to the year, but we're playing pretty well. We beat the Spurs super team on opening day and started 4-0. We lost our first game to Atlanta, but opened the year 7-1 before losing 3 of our last 4 games, kind of pushing us back down to earth a little bit, including our first in-season tournament game against the Dallas Mavericks. As it stands now, we're currently in 3rd place in the West. It looks like the Grizzlies are off to a hot start. We don't want to take too much from the standings. We're only 12 games in, but there are some surprises. The Blazers look to be a lot better with all the young talent they've added. It was only a matter of time until they were finally going to figure it out. And outside of the Clippers and the Jazz, it seems like everybody for the most part is still somewhat in the race. As for the East, the Nets are currently in 1st place. In the last episode, I talked about them as a team who could be looking to add a star. Giannis was the top name I mentioned, but the Bucks are playing pretty well so far, so maybe he won't be available. Of course, we saw some stars get moved in the last episode before the start of the year, most notably Kawhi Leonard going to the Nuggets. And then look at the Sixers in 13th place. What is going on? They were really bad last year. They decided to not trade their guys away. They added Jalen Johnson. They added Yendi Cambridge with the 6th pick. They actually added some good depth. But they don't know how to win games, and neither do the Hornets, who were a win away from making the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So certainly some surprises there towards the bottom of the East. As for us, our season has been defined by injuries. Steph Curry at 38 years old has not missed a beat. He's been outstanding. But he's missed 5 games. He tweaked his back in the opener against the Spurs. So that opened the door for Antoine Salice to run the show for the offense. But in our second game of the year, he broke his hand. And now he's not really going to get the opportunity to do that. He's going to be out for roughly another month or so. Some other notable performers, good and bad, include Miles Turner struggling to shoot the ball early like he did last year. Ayo Dosunmu's playing really well. Both Jonathan Kuminga and Jimmy Butler have stepped up with some of the injuries we've had. And then let's talk about the rookies. With Roman Loggins-Burrell, he hasn't shot the ball particularly well, but I think he's still making a positive impact. Look at the assists and the turnovers. The NBA's best passers average an assist-to-turnover ratio between 3 and 5. Right now, Roman Loggins-Burrell assist-to-turnover ratio is 4. That's really good. So even though his true shooting percentage is below 50%, which is not good, he still has an estimated wins added near 1, 5th in rookies in scoring, 10th in rebounds, 11th in assists, but he's only 19th in turnovers despite having one of the higher usage rates, putting him in 10th in terms of estimated wins added. Obviously, the efficiency hasn't been great, but otherwise he's been quite good. Now, it does sting a little bit seeing Kobe Starling Jr. in 2nd place, considering we almost drafted him and passed him up for 2 players who have clearly not been as good. But if we take the 3-point shooting out of the equation, which has been his biggest problem, he's shot the ball well from 2. He's playing good defense. He's doing a good job passing. It's really just the 3-point shooting that's been a problem with him. So overall, I feel good about how Roman has played, but I cannot really say the same for Kajai Stokes. He has been bad. His estimated wins added is at negative 0.6, which is the worst in the rookie class so far by far. Now, sure, there are some other high picks in here. Jamar Fofana was drafted 4th. Yontair Kingsley was drafted 8th. But Stokes has been horrible. 4th in the league in terms of the worst estimated wins added. Now, again, there are some good players in his range. Keon Ellis, Lou Dort, even OG Anunoby, surprisingly. But if you look at his efficiency, that's pretty horrific. He's not shooting the ball well from 2, and the biggest surprise is his 3-point shooting. He's 4 for 6 in the left corner from deep, and he's 4 for 32 from everywhere else beyond the 3-point line. And the outside shot was supposed to be one of his calling cards, and that's been a major issue so far. He's shot the 3 ball about as poorly as Roman Loggins-Burrell has. While I'm still very hopeful for this young man's future, he's got a ways to go, and right now, I don't think we can have him in the rotation. So we're going to put him in the G League for the time being. Now, players in this game do not like being in the G League. Powell Zavelski, for example, he is not happy, and his rating goes down by 4. The last thing I want is for Kajai Stokes' morale to be in the toilet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put him in the G League for a few games, and I switched his position to shooting guard. That way he can play off the ball offensively, try to get open without the ball in his hands, and take a little bit off his plate. As for the rotation, this is what we're going to be rocking with for right now. The back end of the bench will feature Chris Dunn, Jabari Springer, and Simone Fontecchio. I think the undrafted rookie out of Hawaii, Keone Kaleo, could get an opportunity sooner than later. So I'm going to play this game against the Sixers. I've got to see what's wrong with this team because it's not like the offseason additions they've made have been bad. Jalen Johnson's been a good pickup. He's been really efficient so far. A career best in terms of true shooting. They've added real depth, including Yendi Cambridge, the 6th overall pick, Robert Williams, Cam Johnson, Kobe Buffkin, all added, but they're still bad. And the reason is their defense. They have no problem scoring the ball, but they had the 3rd worst defense in terms of points allowed per game in the league. And it's weird because they don't have many bad defenders on their roster. Maxey and McCain, very formidable defensive players in the backcourt. Paul George and Joel Embiid are great defenders. Jalen Johnson's very capable. And then as we look at their bench, they've got a good defensive anchor of Robert Williams. And the other 4 guys aren't great, but none of them are liabilities on that end of the floor. I felt like the Sixers needed to add some missing pieces to fit their roster, like Jalen Johnson and Yendi Cambridge, which they did. They needed to sign productive two-way free agents, which they did, but they're still really bad. Steph Curry hasn't been too bad. It says he's only averaging 15 and 2 over his last 5 games. That's incorrect, and I think that's because he's missed a couple of our recent games with his injury. Outside of the opener, where he got injured, he has not had a game this year where he has scored less than 24 points. For 38 years old and the oldest player in the league, he's not looking too bad. The other thing I want to talk about is Ayo Dosunmu. He's played well so far this year. It might be because I gave him his original jersey number back, number 11, not thinking that that's the number that Klay Thompson wore here. I forgot to change it today, but I will change his number going into the next episode. So Ayo's going to wear 11 today, and he's going to have something new next time around. So let's get this show on the road here in Philadelphia as Tyrese Maxey makes a nice move inside. He's got the first 4 points of the day. I'm really curious to see how the Sixers look and try to figure out what's wrong with this team because they've got the talent to be a contender in the East. Paul George hits the 3 off the screen from Jalen Johnson. So far they look pretty solid, up 7-4. Maxey with it as it's stripped away and stolen by the former 76er, Jimmy Butler. He gets it to Curry in transition for 3. And despite being 38 years old and despite Jimmy being 37, both guys are playing really well for us. There's Joel Embiid with the steal. He gets it to Maxey. On the other end, Paul George ignites the triple. George's scoring averages are down. He's only averaging around 15.5 points per game. But it's not like he's shooting the ball poorly. His true shooting percentage is above 60. George with it on the drive. Shrugs off Dosunmu. Makes the layup. Sixers back up by 5. And here comes Philadelphia in transition. Jared McCain with it. The layup is good for the 3rd-year pro out of Duke, who's been, speaking of efficiency, one of the more efficient guards in the league ever since he got drafted. 14-7, Curry looking for the pick and roll. He's got Kuminga, who sends it home. Again, with our backcourt missing most of the year, Jonathan Kuminga and Jimmy Butler have had to be the guys for us, and those two continue to really play well so far. Jalen Johnson hits the pull-up midi, 16-9 now. Steph Curry with it, matched up with Maxey. He's going to look to get that one over him, and he does. 5-3 so far for Steph. It's 16-11. Overall, a slow start for our offense, but it seems like we're starting to get more comfortable as Jonathan Kuminga hits the 3 in the corner, averaging 20 points per game on the road. Jalen Johnson with it, matched up with Kuminga, a couple of 2021 draft picks. Inside for McCain, no good. Really heads-up play there by Kuminga to switch onto the double. In transition, Butler, long-range 3 is good. Jimmy Butler connects from beyond the arc. A 10-2 run for the Warriors, and they take the lead, but not for long. Joel Embiid is in for the and 1. Kuminga called for the foul. Turner there as well. A slow start offensively for Miles Turner as it's 21-17. Here's the rookie, Roman Loggins. Burl moving off the ball, shooting on the move, and he hits the 3. It's been a rough year for him from deep, but that was a really nice play. That was a nice move as well, but he's got to make the layup. He's done a really good job finishing inside this year otherwise, as Yendi Cambridge is able to make the layup despite tough defense from the rookie. Cambridge drafted 6th overall out of Cal, as Jabari Springer gets that one to go in. I like what we've seen out of Springer so far in a limited role. He's been a productive player for us off the bench. Buffkin, step back, nice move, misses the layup though. Jabari Springer bit on the fake. Buffkin's got to make a play there. Both offenses have some misses that I'm sure they would like back. On the other end, look at this matchup. Springer matched up with Bufkin. Furphy switches to double team and it won't matter. Warriors take the lead. We'll see if they hold for the last shot as Kuminga has it in isolation with Robert Williams. Williams is slower than Kuminga. This to me looks like barbecue chicken. Kuminga airballs it inside. I don't think Robert Williams got a hand on it. That is one of the worst misses I've ever seen, and that one is nearly good from 2/3 length at the court by Johnny Furphy. 24-23 into the second quarter, a low-scoring start. Not what I expected with one of the better offenses and one of the worst defenses here with the 76ers as they opened the second quarter with a 3 by Cameron Payne. 2-point game. Kuminga on the drive, matched up with Embiid. Gets it to the rookie out of Iowa State, Roman Loggins-Burl. On the screen, drives inside and throws it down. One of the biggest highlights we've seen so far this year from Loggins-Burl has been these really impressive dunks. He plays with his head above the rim and is one of the most explosive players probably in the entire league. Jimmy Butler able to create some space off the screen by Adembona, and he hits the triple, 30-26. Here's Kevin Huerter with it. Embiid over in the corner for Furphy. Back to Huerter, and Red Velvet strikes from deep. Both teams shooting the 3 ball pretty well in the second quarter in what was otherwise a very inefficient start. Dosunmu out to Butler. Right corner 3 is good. Jimmy Butler is on a heater right now, the former Sixer with 3 triples in the last few minutes. 33-29. Huerter inside, matched up with Dosunmu. Makes the layup, draws the foul, and one. And we're tied at 33. Curry, Butler in transition. Another triple. For Jimmy Butler, he's got 14 points. Jimmy is hooping right now. He looks like he got better this offseason, let alone his regression. Jalen Johnson off the screen, hits the 3, despite a quick closeout from Simone Fontecchio. Tied at 36. Curry, pump fake, out to Butler. On the drive, inside with the slam. 16 very efficient points for Jimmy. He maybe has 1 or 2 misses today. That's it. He's been awesome. Pump fake. Butler slides in. Layup is good. They cannot guard Jimmy Buckets. Living up to his name, he's got 18. Paul George with it. Layup over Ayo Dosunmu is good. Both offenses seem to be getting more comfortable as the game goes along, but it's still relatively low scoring. Pull-up 3 from Curry is good. Steph has not shot the ball overly well. Hopefully that can give him a spark and some momentum as we regain the lead. 43-40. Dosunmu, nice move. Layup is good for Ayo, who was one of the least efficient scoring guards in the league last year. This season, he's been one of the most efficient scoring guards. Turner matched up with Paul George, and Miles Turner is able to make the play. It's been a disappointing season for Turner offensively, and it's been a disappointing game. But that was a nice play as Butler throws it down for the and one slam. Robert Williams called for the foul. Jimmy Butler continuing his impressive game. He will miss the 3 throw, but it's rebounded by Turner, who gets fouled by Jalen Johnson. As you can see, the Sixers are quickly dismantling the Warriors on an 11-0 run over the last couple of minutes as Maxey finally gets a bucket. The Sixers needed that one badly. 9-point game. Here's Curry with it, 8 and 7. Looking to get some room on the drive over to Jonathan Kuminga. He connects on the triple, and the Warriors, who had this game tied moments ago, are now up by 12. Curry with it. About a minute to go in the half. Out to Springer. His 3 is good. 7 points already for Jabari Springer. And what once was a very close and competitive game about 3 minutes ago has turned into a potential blowout. 57-44. McCain with it. Johnson. Maxey on the left corner for Paul George. Kuminga wants to bait him into a shot, so the Warriors get one more chance to score. And that decision might not have paid off. Paul George hits the jumper. 11-point game. Final moments of the first half. It's Curry with it. Curry at the buzzer. It is good! Stephen Curry hits the pull-up jumper. 10 and 9 in the first half for Wardell. The Warriors end the first half on a 19-6 run and lead it 59-46. This is what the NBA rookie leaderboard looks like as of now. The top 2 picks at 1 and 2, not really a surprise. But at number 3, Amir Brooks, the final pick of the first round, and a guy who we liked a little bit, had him invited to a pre-draft workout. He's averaging 8, 9, and 4 assists. I did not know he was like that as a playmaker. As for this game, we started off slowly, but the offense really got going in the second quarter. And as I look at the Sixers, I can start to see some of their problems. they have a bunch of good basketball players, but they don't know how to play team basketball. They only have 9 assists so far. I think a big reason why they've shot under 40% from the field in both the first and the second quarter, and are only 5 of 17 from deep. Paul George is the only player with more than 6 points, and he hasn't been very efficient. Joel Embiid has shot the ball twice. That's unacceptable. Paul George is only 6 of 15 and 2 for 7 from 3, so even though he leads the team in points by far, it's not like he's been that good. These guys just don't know how to play with each other. Pause, no diddy. As Jonathan Kuminga is in for the slam, the cum bucket makes the play. Again, no diddy. 61-46, Kuminga, layup is good. A quick start to the third quarter for Jonathan Kuminga. He's got 12 and 7. Golden State seems to be picking up right where they left off from the first half. Embiid with it, corner 3 is good. Joel Embiid needs to try to shoot the ball more. It's unacceptable that one of the best scorers in the planet has shot it twice. No one in this league can guard him, not even Miles Turner. He's got to start being more aggressive as Curry hits the 3. Curry's already got a double-double, his first of the year, season high in assists with 10. He hasn't shot the ball that well, but his first 3 of the second half goes in. As Jonathan Kuminga is in for the layup, it is a 19-point game now. We have carried the momentum from the first half here to the third quarter and then some. It's now a 28-9 run over the last couple of minutes as McCain has it. Lobs it up for Jalen Johnson. The Duke connection strikes inside. 68-53, Roman Loggins-Burrell with it, out to Kuminga, swings it out for Curry. His 3 is good. In hindsight, Kuminga probably should have just shot it himself, but Curry makes it anyway, so who cares? 71-53, George with it, fakes the pass. His 3 is no good. Curry with the rebound. Joel is a foot taller than him. He's got to make that rebound. And then on the other end, Roman Loggins-Burrell is blocked. Bona gets it back in the corner. Fontecchio, no good. We've got to have a conversation about Simone Fontecchio. We signed him to hit open 3s, and he doesn't do that. What does he do? Kuminga misses, grabs his own board, gets the putback. Nice play by Jonathan Kuminga, and the lead is at 20. If this lead remains, I think we're going to keep Roman Loggins-Burrell in for the entire rest of the game. I would like to get him as many reps as possible, so as long as we're winning, he's going to keep playing. Off the layup by Embiid. Kuminga has it on the wing, fakes Embiid with the pump fake, and is in for the layup. Jonathan Kuminga continuing his impressive quarter, 75-55. Embiid with it. Step back, that one is good over the extended arm of Adem Bona, the former Sixer, who's played quite well for us. I think the Sixers are really regretting letting him go. Curry, corner 3 is good! After an inefficient first half, Steph Curry is 3 for 3 from deep. Here in the third, he's got 19 and 10. Roman Loggins-Burrell calls for isolation. Joel Embiid cannot match up with his speed as he's in for the slam. If you match up a big with Roman Loggins-Burrell, it's night-night. He's going to get himself in isolation and score every chance he gets. Jared McCain hits the 3 for Philadelphia. It is a 20-point game once again. Chris Dunn with it on the drive. Kuminga back to Dunn. Top of the key for Roman Loggins-Burrell. Gets the screen on the drive. Lobs it up. Mama! There goes that man! Jonathan Kuminga with the poster over Robert Williams. That man had a family. Not anymore, though. 20-point game. Here's Dunn in the corner for 3 off the assist by Roman Loggins-Burrell. 23-point lead, now a 21-point game in favor of the Warriors late in the quarter. Springer with the slam. He's now got 11 points, and he hasn't missed a shot yet. Very efficient from Jabari Springer. 23-point game. We'll see if the Sixers hold for the last shot or do something quicker. Tyrese Maxey with it, guarded by the rookie. Maxey, step back, has room for 3. It is good. And the lead is cut all the way down to 20. 89-69, Warriors will have the last shot. I want Roman Loggins-Burrell to essentially be the point guard the rest of this game. I want him to make the decisions. Passes it out to Butler at the buzzer. Jimmy Butler does it again. A 23-point lead going into the fourth. And with our big lead, I said I wanted to have Roman Loggins-Burrell play the rest of the game, but it won't be just him. Jabari Springer, I'm going to keep him the rest of the way. And then Keone Kaleo, the undrafted rookie out of Hawaii, who I think has played 1 NBA minute so far. He will play the entirety of the fourth quarter. Adem Bona is in for the slam with the foul, and 1. Robert Williams looks dazed and confused, as does just about anybody else. who has to subject themselves to watching the 76ers. Loggins-Burrell, isolation, blocked by Williams. What a play there by the big man to stay with Roman Loggins-Burrell the entire way and block the shot. On the other end, Yendi Cambridge, 6th overall out of Cal, misses. Springer gets the rebound over Embiid. On the other end, Keone Kaleo looks to drive by Johnny Furphy, and he is blocked by Williams. Bona gets the rebound. Warriors hold on to the ball. Springer blows by Embiid, and he gets the dunk. Joel Embiid looks like he's just going through the motions out there. He's not trying for rebounds. He's not hustling on defense. His body language looks horrible in this game. Johnny Furphy for 3. My Kangaroo King, Rock Chalk. The Aussie connects from beyond the arc. 98-74. Curry's back in the game. With all these young guys in, I want a couple of our star players in at a time just to make sure there's no chance of a comeback. As he connects with Adem Bona on the pick and roll. 100-74 now. Curry, 21-11. Looking for a little shake and bake on Kobe Buffkin. And Steph Curry hits another 3. 27-point game. Curry matched up with Robert Williams. Going to try to get this into isolation as well. Williams was able to match up with Roman Loggins-Burrell earlier, though. But Curry is able to dart by him quick enough. He's in for the layup. 26-11, now in takeover mode, which is unfortunate because he's probably going to come out for good within the next minute or so. Keone Kaleo with it on the drive, his first NBA basket. Even though he didn't get picked in this year's draft, I'm still really optimistic for this kid's future. Only 19 years old, I think he's got a really high ceiling. Roman Loggins-Burrell hits the 3 in the corner, 2 for 4 from deep, one of his better days shooting the 3 ball, which doesn't say much. Normally, his shots sound like a gun range as Jalen Johnson powers the slam, and the Sixers cut the lead all the way down to 27. Around a minute to go, Loggins-Burrell, another 3 and another make. Roman Loggins-Burrell shooting the 3 ball well in this one, and that's how this game comes to a close. 121-93, a big win here for us. This game was competitive through the first probably 17 minutes. It was tied at 40, and then the Sixers fell apart, losing by 28. Going into this game, I wanted to see if I could figure out the root of this team's problems, and I think their problems were pretty evident. These guys have no heart, no hustle, there's no coaching. What does Nick Nurse even do for this team other than twiddle his thumbs and probably play solitaire on his phone during practice? The ball movement was bad, the body language was bad, it was just horrible to watch. Nobody played more than 26 minutes for us since we were up by so much. Curry had a really good game, 26-11. Curry did not shoot the ball well in the first half, so he adapted. He had 9 assists. In the second half, he did shoot the ball well. He looked a lot more like Steph Curry. He was not the only guy who had a really good game, though. Jimmy Butler had 20 in the first half. Would have ended up with probably 30-plus if this was a competitive game. And then Jonathan Kuminga as well. Put up good numbers. They would have been better if this was competitive. Loggins-Burrell, 3 for 5 from deep. Love to see it. Jabari Springer, 17-12 with 1 miss. This guy can really hoop. I think we might have found a diamond in the rough. I don't expect him to turn into his dad, but I think we found a really good player. If the three-point shooting can get better, then I think we're looking at a pretty complete player. Turner and Bona combined for 8 points and 23 rebounds. Turner had a bad game offensively, but he was really good on defense, so I'm not going to complain too much. And then Keone Kaleo in the fourth quarter was pretty quiet. He finished with 2 points. As for the Sixers, Maxey at 22, Paul George at 17 on 19 shots. Embiid with 11 and 13 on 4 of 10 shooting. I'm a big Joel Embiid defender. I think he gets too much crap from NBA fans, but this is the reason why people don't like him. He looked like he didn't really care out there, and I would not be surprised if this team blows it up. It looks unfixable. Their offense was bad, their defense was bad, and then, again, coaching, body language, team chemistry. That just looks like it was in the toilet. So let's go through our in-season tournament game here against the Jazz. We're 0-1 in the in-season tournament, and we need a win. And we're lucky that we're playing against the Jazz, who are not particularly good. They're 2-12. We've already played and beaten the Jazz twice this year, but I don't want to look past these guys. Remember last year, they had that 3-month stretch where they won only 2 games, and both wins were against us. This game actually ended up being quite competitive, but we ran away with it late in the fourth, winning by 14. Another great game from Jimmy Butler, 31 points on 12 shots. Curry played well, Kuminga was solid. Loggins-Burrell did not shoot the 3-ball well, coming back down to earth in that regard. Martin Sifa had 22, 18 and a career-high 13 rebounds for the guard, Devin Harbour. but it's not enough for the Jazz to win. They fall to 2-13. We're going to play our next in-season tournament game against the Pelicans, so we're going to simulate this 3-game road trip against New Orleans, Milwaukee, and Sacramento. We got offered this deal from Washington. I'm going to say no. And we ended up only going 1-2. I think the schedule makers kind of screwed us with 4 games in 5 days. This loss against the Bucks is interesting because Jaden Ivey played really well, and he's been on a tear this year, averaging 27.5 points per game. The Bucks might have just accidentally found their second star. He's shooting 60% true shooting, even though his field goal percentage and three-point percentage are both bad. The reason? He's getting to the line so much. He leads the league in 3 throw attempts per game. Giannis is in second, and nobody is close to them. So even though the Bucks are shooting a league worst 27% from 3, they're still playing well because Jaden Ivey and Giannis Antetokounmpo are living at the 3-throw line. If that team can turn into even a slightly below average 3-point shooting team, the Bucks might be really scary. We then beat the Kings 105-99. The Kings have outperformed expectations this year. They've been pretty good. Really nice showing by Kuminga. Jimmy Butler did not play very well, but we're still able to get the job done. And that brings us to this matchup against New Orleans. But before that, I want to check in on Kajai Stokes in the G League. He's still happy, which is good. And in the 4 games he's played, he's been fairly solid. Double-doubles in all 4 games with no less than 10 rebounds in each one. His shooting efficiency has gotten better as the games have gone along. Started 5 of 20, but after that he's picked it up. 16, 11, and 3 on 40% three-point shooting. I can live with that. The 2-point efficiency is not great, and I want to see a little bit more as a playmaker, but I'm not going to complain on 16 and 11 on that type of shooting from deep. Let's look at the Pelicans. They're currently the 6th seed, 8-8 in the Western Conference. They intentionally decided to stand pat in the offseason, despite the fact that they knew that Zion Williamson was going to miss the first half of the year with an injury. This team is not a championship contender as it's currently constructed, but I think the Pelicans are playing the long game right now. As I talked about in the draft episode, I imagine there's going to be 2 expansion teams that come into the league as soon as this offseason. They're probably going to be in Las Vegas and Seattle, which means somebody in the Western Conference is going to have to move east. Geographically, you would think it would be either Memphis, Minnesota, or New Orleans. And as we look at those teams, Memphis and Minnesota have built up some really good rivalries in this conference, but I can't really say the same about New Orleans. It would make the most sense for the Pelicans to go out east, which would be a major advantage to them because the East is a lot worse than the West. The Pelicans, I think, were the 9th seed in our conference last year. If they were in the East, they would have been the number 1 seed and probably made the NBA Finals. So that's why they decided to stand pat, draft Jamar Fofana, 4th overall, who hasn't gotten off to a very good start. He's put up good counting stats, but he's been kind of inefficient and really hasn't been a winning player quite yet. But obviously, it's still early, and the Pelicans still very much believe in his upside. As Miles Turner wins the tip over Walker Kessler, and we are underway here in Game 3 of the in-season tournament. Steph Curry with it at the top of the key, looking for somebody to get open. It's Ayo Dosunmu, who hits the 3. We might be better off keeping him with the number 11 because he's shooting the ball from deep like Klay Thompson this year. 3-0. Here's Darius Garland. Pump fake. Beats the shot clock, and it's good. We handled that defensive possession perfectly, but Miles Turner jumped a quarter of a second too early. Great play by Garland to fool him and hit the shot as Brandon Ingram is in for the slam. Without Zion, the Pelicans don't really have that alpha score, but they are a pretty balanced team with some good defenders, including this guy, DeJounte Murray, with the steal in transition, gets the slam. The Pelicans are also a really deep team. Trey Murphy is their 4th guy off the bench, and he's a legitimately good player. They go 9 deep, 10 with a healthy Zion. As Miles Turner connects on the triple, 7-6. Ingram in the corner, DeJounte Murray hits a 3 at the zone. A strong start for Murray, and New Orleans is up 10-6. Golden State calls a timeout. Another slow start offensively. I've noticed that with us this year. We seem to start games off slow on offense, which for an older team is not ideal. There's Miles Turner in for the layup. He's off to a good start with 5 points, more than he had in the entirety of the Sixers game. Jimmy Butler with it, matched up with Garland. That's a mismatch. Murray doubles, and sure enough, Jimmy misses the shot. A really good play by DeJounte Murray, who's been fantastic through the first 3 minutes. Garland, Euro step in the corner. Brandon Ingram hits the 3. All we can do is tip our cap. That was a great move by Garland. Butler, open 3, no good. Jimmy Butler's had a really good season, but he has been ice cold over the last few games. He looks a lot more like a 37-year-old as Brandon Ingram is in for the finish. 16-8. Not a good start for the Warriors. Fofana, free throw, no good. Kessler with the offensive rebound. Fofana back inside, no good. Gets his own miss. Fofana, the native of Canada, off the mark. And the concern with him was that he's a really talented player, but he did not play against the best of competition at his prep school in Canada. And so far, it's certainly been a learning curve for the 4th overall pick. Garland with the steal. On the other end, matched up with Curry halfway through the first quarter. Garland has it poked away. Curry with the steal. In transition, nobody in front of him. Layup is good for his first points of the game. Steph Curry really has not cooled off at all. When he's been healthy, he has been fantastic. He's been better than he was last year as he hits the step-back jumper over DeJounte Murray. It looks like he's 25 the way he's moving out there. It's incredible to see. He looks like he's got 5 more years in him as he gets the steal off the unsuccessful lob. Turner out to Bona. Back to Curry, looking for the screen. Curry has space, lets it fire from 3. And the lead is within 1. The Warriors on a 9-2 run. So much like the Sixers game, slow start, but then they really get it together. As Bona blocks Garland inside. Curry with it. Curry, step back, long 2 is good. 30 is unguardable. And the Warriors take the lead. Roman Loggins-Burrell with it. He gets it out to Curry. Pump fake. Curry. Oh my goodness, what a move! Stephen Curry is unbelievable. He's got a dozen. 22-18. Curry out to Jabari Springer. Poked away. Ball on the ground, and it ends up with Herb Jones. He gets it to Garland. Pull-up jumper is good. Both teams are doing a great job of forcing turnovers and scoring off of those turnovers throughout this first quarter. 4-point game, 30 seconds left in the frame. Here's Jordan Hawkins. Gets some room and buries the triple. Earlier in the year, the Pelicans offered us a Jordan Hawkins, Roman Loggins-Burrell swap. Obviously, not something we're interested in, although Hawkins is a good player. Kuminga, no good. Nice defense in there by Trey Murphy. He gets it to Garland, out to Herb Jones with 8 seconds left in the quarter. The lob for Yves Missi is unsuccessful. Warriors looking for the last shot. Curry, long-range 3 is no good. 24-23. Both defenses playing really well, forcing a lot of turnovers. Neither offense, with the exception of Steph Curry and I guess Brandon Ingram and Darius Garland, has been very good so far. Garland out to Herb Jones for 3. Jones, of course, known for his perimeter defense, but has really improved throughout his career as an offensive player. He's been inefficient so far this year, however, as Chris Dunn hits the corner 3. Dunn continuing to shoot the 3 ball quite well and continuing to earn more minutes. I feel like he's been a good addition for us. Yves Missi with it over to Trey Murphy. Inside layup is good. New Orleans back ahead. Nice move by Murphy. 28-27. Loggins-Burrell tries to set the screen. Butler back out to the Rook. Roman Loggins-Burrell gets it to Dosunmu, and his 3 is good. That was a pretty ugly possession. Nobody was getting open. We just kind of threw it up there with Aya Dosunmu, and it went in. Hawkins looking for a 3 right back, and he gets it. New Orleans up by 1, and Golden State's going to call a timeout, 31-30. The lob is off the mark. Yves Missi misses the dunk. Kuminga with it. Nobody in the lane to stop him as he takes it all the way himself for a 2-handed slam. 34-31. Here's DeJounte Murray with it, guarded by Kuminga. Murray, spin move. Wow, what a move by DeJounte Murray. Continuing an impressive start. The Pelicans' starting unit, I feel like, has been really good today, but their backups, I said they were a deep team, but their backups have not been overly productive. Butler finally on the board with his first points of the game. 36-33. Brandon Ingram matched up with Butler. Contested 3, beats the shot clock, and it is good. Brandon Ingram from beyond the arc. 38-36, Warriors ahead. Jabbar Fofana gets it to Murray. Heavily contested 3, no good. Fofana with the rebound, and he is in for the putback. A nice play there by Jabbar Fofana, and we're tied at 38. There's Jabari Springer in with the and one slam. Herbert Jones called for the foul. Springer is rightfully fired up as he puts his team back ahead. 41-38. Here's DeJounte Murray with it inside for Jabbar Fofana with a slam of his own. Springer a little bit slow to react there as it's 41-40. Murray gets the screen on the drive. Pull-up jumper is good for the lead. Smooth shot there by DeJounte Murray. Pelicans are back up by a point. Roman Loggins-Burrell with it, trapped inside, and he's blocked! Jabbar V5 Fofana with the deflection. On the other end, Brandon Ingram guarded by Kuminga. Pull up, mid-ranger is good, and the Pelicans lead by 3. 44-41, Ingram with it on the drive. He's doubled. That one is no good. Nice defense by the rookie Roman Loggins-Burl, who has yet to score today. Kuminga, open lane, open slam! And Jonathan Kuminga brings the score within 1. Wide open in the corner is Brandon Ingram. Kuminga sleeping, but he does get the late contest, forces the miss, and here he is wide open on offense for 3, and that one rattles in for the lead. Jonathan Kuminga with a 5-point swing over the last 15 seconds. 46-44, 30 to go in the first half. Murray for 3, that one is good. The Pelicans right back ahead. 47-46, Curry with it, scoreless so far in the second. Looking to change that here, and he does as that one rattles in. Steph Curry with the Steph shimmy. 47-49, Curry 15 points, but on 14 shot attempts. He's been inefficient here in the second. That one is good to tie it at 49, and Golden State will get the last shot. Curry, 3 for 9 so far from deep. Gets the screen from Adembona. Curry, pull up 3 for the lead is no good. And that'll wrap up the first half. A competitive defensive battle. We are tied at 49. This looks like two teams who are fighting for their in-season tournament lives. I think they both know with another loss in the NBA Cup bracket, there's no shot of making the actual tournament in Las Vegas. So that'll bring us into the third quarter, tied going into the second half, and it should be a fun finish. Garland with it inside for Brandon Ingram, matched up with Jimmy Butler. Ingram, that one is no good. Gets his own miss, gets the putback. Nice play there by Brandon Ingram, and it's 51-49. Ayo Dosunmu with it on the drive. Dosunmu's doubled. Somebody's got to be open. Curry with a bomb, and it is good. Curry is going to get terrorism charges for launching bombs in here. You might as well call him Luigi. 52-51. DeJounte Murray no good. Ball is tipped up. Murray ends up with his own rebound. Pelicans with another chance on this possession to regain the lead, and they do. Falling jumper for Brandon Ingram will fall. 53-52. Here is Kuminga with it. Gets it over to Curry. Pump fake. Curry matched up with Garland in the corner. Ayo Dosunmu for 3. Dosunmu with 3 triples today. Another very efficient game for Ayo Dosunmu as it's 55-53. Ingram matched up with Butler. He's doubled. Gets by both defenders. Splits them like a bowling ball, wedging its way between 2 pins. New Orleans back ahead, 58-57. Neither team wants to hold the lead in this game as Ingram hits another mid-ranger. Brandon Ingram's hit some really nice shots today. He's had a lot of misses, but he's made some nice plays. 24 points, a game high, as he gets it over to Darius Garland, who lobs it up for the big man, Walker Kessler, who is in with the dunk. 62-61. Butler posts up on Garland. That's a mismatch. He's doubled, passes it out. Kuminga, long range 3 from the parking lot, and it is good. 64-62. Kuminga back with it. Gets by Fofana, in with the slam. Look at the bottom right, though. Miles Turner bruised his right shoulder late in the first half. His status is questionable to return. That's not ideal. 2-point lead. Kuminga, pump fake. Layup is good. 18 points here for Jonathan Kuminga, and it is a 5-point lead. Garland inside for Brandon Ingram, matched up with Loggins-Burl. Jump shot is good. Brandon Ingram gets that one to rattle in, and the Warriors will call time. 66-69. Nice. Kuminga gets by Misi. Out to Dunn as an open man. It's Ayo Dosunmu who hits another 3. Ayo is 4 for 5 tonight from beyond the arc. 72-68. DeJounte Murray with it. Gets it to Ingram. Hands it off for Darius Garland. Looking for a 3. Right back, and he gets it. The lead right back within 1. 74-71. Here is DeJounte Murray. Off the screen for 3, and it's good. New Orleans gets one right back, and this game again is tied. Brandon Ingram with it, matched up with Jonathan Kuminga. Ingram doubled, and his shot is no good. Misi with the offensive rebound. Out to the top of the key for a wide open Herb Jones. No good. Ball is tipped. Misi gets it back again. Third chance here for New Orleans. Murray on the drive, out to Misi. He gets it to Garland with 5 on the shot clock. Lobs it up! What a possession for Yves Misi with 2 offensive rebounds and then the alley-oop dunk. 76-74. Screen from Springer. Dosunmu inside for Springer. Both defenders went to help on the cutting Ayo Dosunmu that neither of them regarded for Jabari Springer. 76 apiece now. Jonathan Kuminga guarding Brandon Ingram with 9 seconds left in the third. Ingram for three, and the lead, no good. Ayo with the rebound. Warriors will get the last shot. Kuminga, good look for three, and it's good! Jonathan Kuminga at the buzzer. 79-76, Warriors take the lead off the buzzer beater three by Jonathan Kuminga as we go into the fourth quarter. Golden State looking to hang on, improving to 2-1 in the in-season tournament as Springer misses the open three. Not a great game today from Springer. And then on the other end, Jamar Fofana is there with the dunk. 1 point game now. Springer will inbound. Curry looking to find some room in the right corner for three. That one is good. Quick shot for Steph. He's got 21. That leads the team. And it is a 4-point game. Robin Loggins-Burrell in the corner. Gets the screen, sends it over to Miles Turner, who's back in from his injury. He hits the mid-ranger. Miles Turner's given us a good game. 11, 6, and 4. And the Pelicans have been much better inside when he has not been on the floor. Jordan Hawkins' jumper is good. He's able to create some space away from Loggins-Burrell, and we're now tied at 84. Dosunmu to Butler, over to Adembona. Scoreless today, but he's looking to change that here, and he does for the lead. Off the fake, is able to get Walker Kessler to bite. We're tied at 86. Garland has it poked away. He keeps it, and will make the layup. Draws the foul for the lead. It's an and one. 89-86 with 5 to go in the in-season tournament. Curry, pump fake. Curry, three for the tie. When in doubt, call Wardell. Stephen Curry knots this one up at 89 apiece. Ingram now for three, looking for the lead right back. We should be in for quite the exciting ending over these next 4 minutes. Curry gets it over to Adembona for three, and the tie! Adembona has never made a three in a regular season game until right now. He had a couple in the playoffs last year, but has not made one in the regular season until that shot. Off the miss, Kuminga, Butler, Bona! A big fourth quarter for Adembona. All 7 of his points have come in the last few minutes. Who would have thought? It's Adembona leading the offense down the stretch. As Garland makes the layup, we're tied at 94 with 3 minutes to go as Golden State calls a timeout. Off of the pair of misses. Here is Curry with it, waiting for the screen. Curry is unable to get open, matched up with their best perimeter defender, at least among their starters, DeJounte Murray, as Curry hits the three anyway. 27 for Steph, 97-94 with 2 minutes to go. Murray, wide open corner three for the tie. 97-97. Warriors use another timeout to regroup. Both offenses have kind of gone cold as of late, as that one is blocked. Bona with the snuff on the other end. Ayo Dosunmu for the lead. 99-97 with just over a minute left to play. DeJounte Murray matched up with Ayo. Looking for the screen from Kessler. He gets it. Inside for Brandon Ingram. Ingram, fadeaway jumper for the tie. No good. Nice defense by Butler. Bona with the rebound. He gets it over to Curry. Back to Butler. Finds Kuminga on the drive. Layup is good despite nice defense by Jamar Fofana. 25-9 for Jonathan Kuminga, and the Pelicans call time. New Orleans has got a score here with 40 to go. Here's Garland with it for three, and it's good. 1 point game, and now that poses the question to foul or not to foul. It looks like the Pelicans are going to let this play out down by 1. We're going to hold it for a little while. Now that the game clock is under 24 seconds, we might as well just let it go the rest of the way unless somebody gets open like this. Curry, three, no good. Rebound by Fofana, and New Orleans calls time at 15.4. So grab your popcorn, folks. We're up by 1. We've got to get a stop here defensively. We're going to bring out our defensive lineup. Both of the bigs are going to be in. Kuminga at the 3, Butler at the 2, and I'm going to keep Steph Curry at the 1. Curry's a capable defender, and if they miss it, we can easily get the ball into his hands to shoot free throws. I think they're going to be looking for Brandon Ingram, and I think he's been at his best today when he's been taking jump shots around the 10 to 15 feet mark. So that, along with the fact that we have a 2-big lineup in the game, is going to clog the lane inside. It's going to be harder to score in the paint. So I would rather Brandon Ingram drive inside and try for a contested layup than an easier mid-range. Kessler on the inbound, he gets it to Ingram. We have Jonathan Kuminga matched with him. I think this is our best chance. Ingram's going to hold for a little while. We're not going to have a chance to win. We just got to get a stop. 5 to go. Ingram, mid-ranger for the win. No good. Bubba rebound, and they cannot foul him in time. It's over. That's the exact type of shot I thought Brandon Ingram was going to take. That's where he's been at his best throughout this game. That's what he goes for. But Kuminga gets the defensive stop to win it, and Golden State hangs on by the hairs on their chinny chin chin. 101-100, the final score in a really fun game. Curry and Kuminga finished with over half of our points, but in very different ways. Curry shot the ball 26 times, on 7 of 19 shooting from 3. Kuminga only shot it 16 times. I think Jonathan Kuminga was our best player. Io with a good game, Turner with a good game. Butler did not shoot the ball well, but he did have 7 assists, and he played strong defense. As for the Pelicans, Ingram had 35, but on 37 shots. He wasn't that effective, but he made some nice plays. He just had a whole lot of misses. 21 for Garland. Fofana had some good plays, finished with 14 rebounds, but it's not enough as we get the job done. And I think we're going to simulate these next 4 games, including our final in-season tournament matchup against the Kings. So the bruised shoulder for Turner isn't going to affect him that much, and I think we're just going to keep him in the lineup and not change anything. He looked fine out there in this game with the injury, and ultimately he would only be hurt for the game against Detroit that we would end up losing. Curry played well in terms of his 3 throws, but was 4 of 13. Loggins-Burrow with a good game, 19 points, 9 of 11 from 2. But we still lose, despite the fact that Ron Holland shot 2 for 13 from 3. So going into our last in-season tournament game, we're 2-1. The Mavericks are 3-1, and the Kings are 3-0. So if the Kings win this game, they're in, we're out. If we win, then things get a little bit funky. This game ended up being really competitive, as you can see, but we pulled away in the second half to win kind of comfortably by 17. Kuminga with 21. Butler finally played well again. Io with another very good game, 4 for 6 from deep. Curry only had 5 points, but we still found a way to get the job done on an off night for Wardell. We get offered a trade here from the Nets. I like Zamir Logan. I don't think he's had a bad year. He's just played way less than he did last season because the Nets are deeper. But no, I'm not trading Jonathan Kuminga. So with that, there's now 3 of us here at 3-1. We're second in this group in terms of point differential, which is the tiebreaker. Let's simulate here against Oklahoma City and the Clippers. We might get some answers in terms of where we're going to be for the in-season tournament as we get offered a trade involving Klay Thompson. He's a shell of what he once was, and apparently he is planning to retire at the end of the year. We'll see if that holds up. But I don't think this is worth it. It would be cool to bring Klay Thompson back, but not for Miles Turner. So as you can see, we beat Oklahoma City and the Clippers, and we've got OKC twice in the next week. Look at this schedule. 4 games in 5 days and 3 games in a row. We are in the in-season tournament as the 3 seed. I don't know why we're higher than Sacramento. I know we beat them, but our point differential is worse. And based on this tiebreaker, Minnesota should really be ahead of us. So I'm honestly not really sure how we got in, but I'm not really going to complain. You know, actually I am going to complain because the schedule makers screwed us. In a 3-day stretch, we travel to Oklahoma City, play them, then we return home to play Memphis, and then the very next day we go back to Oklahoma City. Like, what's the point of that? Why go there, go back home, and then go there again? We should just stay there for the 2 games and play Memphis later. That makes no sense. We're getting completely screwed over by the schedule. Maybe making the in-season tournament is not a good thing, because that sucks. Nonetheless, that'll wrap up the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.